And I am Anna, and welcome to today's message. Today's message is God prepares the way from Exodus 23:27. I will send my terror ahead of you and throw into confusion every nation you encounter. I will make all your enemies turn their backs and run. This verse promises us that God protects us and He guides us, and He's aware of the battles that we face, and He helps us find victory. He uses His power to create fear in our enemies and create an armor around us that protects us every day. Now, have you ever inadvertently found yourself in a situation where you were uncertain? I have. And that is never an easy situation to be in, especially when you find yourself in the same place as your enemies. But to understand this verse, I first want you to understand Exodus, specifically chapter 23. Now, this is about the liberation of the Israelites from slavery and the laws that they should obey in their daily lives. And it's as they make their journey. It's about being fair, avoiding evil deeds, unjust ways, and being generous and loving. It is about rest. For today's world, this chapter is about God's guidance and will and how to live justly. And it's full of direct commands that align with the character of God. It talks about not following others who do wrong and commit sin. It talks about overcoming evil with good. It discusses remaining committed to faith, being compassionate and kind, even to our enemies. And it tells us that when we rest and rely on God in our time of rest, which is a day of Sabbath, the day of Sabbath being the seventh day of the week, which according to Jewish tradition is Saturday, however commonly observed in the U.S. Christian tradition as Sunday. And it talks about the annual feast, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of Harvest or Pentecost, and the Feast of Ingathering or the Tabernacles. It tells about God's promises for guidance and protection, which is today's verse, and the importance of having no other gods in order to protect our faith. Basically, this chapter is a moral and ethical guideline for us, and we are called specifically for truth, compassion, kindness, and faith. And this is our practical guide to our calling and to be holy and committed to God and trust in His protection over our life. A reminder to live according to God's commands. So today's questions are this: are we truly living according to God's commands? Or are we committing more sin? Do we spread gossip or are we spreading love? And are we treating others fairly or are we acting unjust? Are we resting? Are we honoring God? Are we helping those in need? Are we kind to our enemies? Are we generous? Are we worshiping God or the world? It's a lot to consider. Well, how about we wrap it into this one question? Are we impartial in treating everyone we meet with equality, unconditional love and fairness, even our enemies, and worshiping God alone? Well, I know the answer already. No, many people aren't. And honestly, if people say they are, well, I'm willing to say most people aren't being honest. And as I said yesterday, we all sin every single day, and evil is everywhere, and we're sometimes sucked into it without even realizing it right away. But I'll follow a statement with most of us do try to follow these guidelines, but we fail because of our humanity. And we're born into sin, and it happens even when we are trying to be better than that. And this verse becomes very important when you really see things that way. You see, this verse specifically promises us divine protection and support. And it's because God's promises and work bring all things good to those of us who love Him. And we're called to His purpose. But to have it, there are some rules. And they're outlined clearly. You must be thankful every day and understand that God's in control. By being thankful, God promises that we get protection, that our faith is protected by His power and strength. Our conflicts will be resolved without being bitter. Our enemies will be removed from our path, and we'll receive comfort when we're brokenhearted. And that nothing at all can separate us from Him. And it's only when we believe, truly believe, that we become sincere Christians, despite our tendency to sin and despite those who come against us. So today's message is this: God is on your side. He loves you unconditionally, and you can face Him and your enemies because God is hope. And you'll be victorious because God does all things for good, and you'll persevere with God's help, and you're protected and you're equipped in the armor for this battle. And God stands strong against anything and anyone. He goes ahead of you. And if you continue to work and be obedient, you will find victory in God. His unconditional love will protect you no matter what. So trust what God says, that He is faithful, and find peace in your life like I have, and allow God to guide you. His unwavering love and protection, it goes ahead of you. So trust it with every ounce of your being and be victorious. Trust that God prepares the way ahead of you. I am living proof that God's unconditional love and trust is the answer. If this resonated with you, please like and share my post. And thank you for your donations to My Divine Mission and for helping me to keep my messages alive. I'll see you next time.